Welcome to WeChatting. That's a show that we talk about anything and everything. Today we have the GOAT, the G.O.A.T of Kwaito music, a businessman, a music producer, a video. Is he a DOP? Is he an editor? He's a media guru. Okay. Squire! Welcome to the show, Squire.
Hi, Archie. Hi, everyone watching. Thank you for having me.
So, I'm multitasking here today. Yes, I got your name right. Yes. Mailbox Media.
Yes.
That's your company.
Yes, it's my media production company.
Were you using Mailbox Media when you were doing the music production? Because we'll touch on the music just now.
I've actually had quite a journey on the music production. Before I established my own label and my own companies, I was actually producing under other people's companies.
Right.
Years back, I produced under Next Door Media, which is the same company that was producing G.O.A.T.
Right.
And they had started a record label division. They were recording your TMBC, your GP Gangsters, and other artists there. And I also was recording artists like Pitch Black Afro who were under EMI Music. So EMI was the client.
Yeah.
And they had commissioned me as the producer to say, we'd like you to do something for Pitch Black, we'd like you to do something for Mendoza. So
that's a lot of money. Are you a millionaire, my man? Am I sitting next to a millionaire right now? You know?
I don't kiss and tell.
Lawyer.
Yeah, that's also about lawyer.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so the journey continues, move on, and then back in 2008, working in my own studio, I started recording Shoza.
Right.
She was then married to businessman Jacob Nisi from Witbank.
Yeah.
And my studio was in Soweto. And what they do is they used to drive down every day from Witbank, do one song, drive back. Drive down, do one song, drive back. And one day I approached them. I was like, after we've done the Queen of Kwaito album, and we were actually preparing to record a gospel album, I was like, why don't you guys open your own studio? Instead of hiring a studio. In a way, I was creating a job for myself, and they went for it, but they said on condition that that studio is going to be in Witbank. Yeah. Which made sense because it means they had to stop crossing provinces to get hits, and it happened, and that's how I started working with their company called Mshoza Poza Entertainment. And I did a lot of hits, signed a lot of artists there. And then the journey moved on. I ended up at Kalawa Jasmine Records some years later, producing music under Mandla Spigiri. Got a lot of mentorship because I was already doing the Kwaito sound amongst other genres. Yeah. But I hadn't perfected it. It didn't sound like what I wanted to sound like, although people were liking my taste of it. But I felt that there were things that were missing. Right. And for 4 years, I got some mentorship from Spikiri, and my sound started getting where I wanted it to get. Then I produced a lot of artists there, Trompis, your Brits, your Tsekelekes, a whole lot of artists there that I got an opportunity to work with until I moved on to start my own record label, Pansula Nation Records. When I started Pansula Nation Records, I wanted a label that will function differently from what's out there. Yeah. In the sense that when a record label signs you, they get to own your master because they're the one paying for the studio time, paying for mixing and mastering, music videos, photo shoots, PR, all of that, But I wanted to have a setup that kind of gives the artist ownership of their own product. Right. To say you are baking these cookies. Yeah. Why give them to someone else to sell for you? Let's learn how to sell them ourselves, because you're the one with the recipe. Of course. And the public like your cookies. Yeah. So why not learn how to sell them yourself? Yeah. It's not an easy journey, especially in the music industry, but it's totally achievable. So Peninsula Nation Records was like a hub. So the first thing I'd wanted them to do is to register their own companies.
Okay.
Become record labels.
Right.
So instead of signing a record deal, they were actually licensing. And then we were collaborating on resources. I was providing studio, I was providing shooting facilities, I was providing PR, media, management.
Yeah.
They would be able to get radio interviews and all of that from this hub, you know. And they'd bring their talent, they'd bring their brands because they are brands already.
Yeah.
They'd bring their new talent. And some of the artists were Mandoza. He came with his Nkalagata Records.
Yeah.
Mapaputsi came with Izinja Productions. Sbu Maloya came with Sbu Maloya Projects. Briggs came with was it Briggs Music? There's so many, you know. Tekeleke didn't have a company, so I had him register one.
Right.
Drenko registered Drenko Liza Entertainment and so forth. Alaska was there with Picket Music, you know, Chakarumba was there, a lot of them. And some of them came on their own, you know, because they liked the initiative. I didn't have to go hunting and looking for who am I going to put on this project.
Right.
You know, yeah. And that's how Peninsula Nation Records came to be. And then when we recorded this song, Abantu Bamlaba with Mshoza,
yeah.
I then encouraged her after that to register her own company. And that's how Fresh Money Family Records was born, which was her label. And then again, we'd collaborate, record together, release together, you know, conceptualize, PR and all of those things together.
Nice.
And it worked.
Nice.
Yes.
You're not selfish. We need a horn for this man. Yes. And I remember I met Squire. Geez, like when was this? 2000 and
was it just after the World Cup?
No, before.
Just before, ne?
Before, like 2008, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So it's a long time.
It's a long time ago.
Almost 20 years, yeah.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
I've deleted his number a few times, and then I look for it again. Then I delete it. Then I look for it again.
He ran away from the country a few times, and I looked for him and brought him back.
Anyway, so I remember when we were now doing TV productions and stuff, when I was back from overseas, from the UK.
Yes.
You were producing, directing, and doing all those things for some of these famous TV shows that people have watched.
Yes, yes.
And you're still doubling up with music, because I remember there's one time we were looking for you because you slept in the studio at Kalawa Jazmi.
Yes.
At Oskido Studio.
Yes.
And you for a shoot.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Yes.
How do you manage that? Is it this stuff that you're drinking?
No, that stuff was not available. I'm not sure if it's the then president who had also banned it, but yeah, no, it was definitely not this stuff. It was very difficult to juggle.
Yeah.
In the first place, I had to do it, and over time find the correct balance.
Yeah.
You know, because in all aspects, you need your full concentration, you need your full energy, and you always have to be at your A game.
Yeah.
And you know what would make one sleep in studio? You know, because I mean, you'd ask, are your sessions not scheduled? Don't you know that you're going in at 7 p.m. and leaving at 10 p.m.? But the problem with the creative process, when you're starting something from scratch, especially something like music, you cannot schedule the creativity.
Yeah.
You can schedule the technical that you're going to studio to work, but when you get there, you're just not in your zone. You're just not in that creative space. The creativity is not there yet. Then sometimes you sit in studio, you try to do something, it doesn't come together. You work on stuff that you've already worked on, improve it here and there. Until, the session is supposed to go until 10 p.m. But at 11:45 a.m., that creativity just kicks in.
You can't stop.
And then now you're only starting, or you're about to start.
Yeah.
Way after your curfew, your set curfew, which was your 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And so now that you're starting, then your 3-4 hours begins only then. And then until 4 a.m. and then I've got the shoot at 7 a.m. And I still need to sleep. I still need to get my energy. I must come there with red
Do you smoke
eyes.
weed?
And no.
You stopped or you haven't started? Or?
No, I don't smoke it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've got my ways of, summoning the creativity. Some of these help time to time. But sometimes you start because you want to summon your creativity.
Yeah.
And while you're waiting for the creativity, you go on and go on and go on.
Yeah.
And by the time the creativity arrives, you've had a little bit too much of these and now you're dysfunctional. So they also need some sort of balance to say, okay, this is how much I need to have just to get myself in the zone and then go back to my regular drinks and water. And
you know what's weird with being a creative like myself? I'm never in front of camera like this, so I don't even know how I look, and I don't even like the way I'm sounding right now.
Yeah, same way. It's scary.
Yeah, but anyway, somebody had to sit here and talk about this Kwaito thing. Now, even when I'm creating my TV shows, right? Sometimes I've got this idea, and I take my laptop, I open my PowerPoint or Word. I don't even finish one sentence. It just doesn't happen. But I've got this belief that no, man, this is the show. This is the show. Until maybe a week later, or it can be the same day. It just happens. And when you start writing, because I only do unscripted stuff. I don't do scripted stuff. Yeah. When you start now nailing down the idea, it all comes together. So I know where you're coming from. Talking about this stuff, shout out to Ellen Wines. Ellen Wines, keep these bottles coming.
Yes, it's tasting very good. I like the dryness, and it's got a bit of body, as the wine people would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's tasting really nice.
And they help with the creativity.
With the creativity as well. Yeah. So they're actually contributing to our creative process. Shout out to Ellen Wines.
Too much. So, Squire, I watch a lot of Netflix.
Yes.
On Netflix, I've watched a show that's called The Evolution of Hip Hop, I think.
Yes.
I mean, you are the god for Kwaito. Why are we not doing this shit? Because look, the Kwaito people now, we've lost Mendoza, we've lost now Mshoza. We need to do this show. We need to document this shit before these people all perish.
You see, here's how I look at it, from the inside. A couple of people have documented the history of Kwaito, where it's from, where it went through, and all of that,
Yeah.
But very few think of where it's going, documenting what's happening now, and following it into fruition.
Yeah.
So where that is concerned, we feel that a lot of people know what happened, know what, even though they might not have a lot of insight on certain details behind the scenes, but they kind of know where we've been, you know, before we are where we are. So I feel it's more important to get into what's happening now, and then to follow them into the future. Like I said, now they're past the stage of they're just celebrities who write good songs and sing and are famous and are making money and all of that. But now they've become business people, and you're wondering, okay, why are we not hearing about some of these companies?
Yeah.
Where's the new music?
Yeah.
We need to take that and put that on the spotlight, and you'll find out why. And then you'll find out what's really going on in the music industry.
Yeah.
And maybe when that is on the spotlight,
maybe
now everything can come, how can I say, all cards can be on the table.
Yeah.
Then the public can actually know that, no, they're not just old musicians of the 90s. They're actually producing music, but no one is playing it. No one is giving it the necessary platforms because it doesn't sound like this new sound or like that new sound, And not everyone should leave their style because your style is your calling, Like you say, you do unscripted stuff. And then suddenly you're called, come and do this drama. Not that you can't pull it off, but maybe you might want to partner up with someone who's in that space and passionate about that space, rather than leaving your unscripted stuff, which is your calling, which is what you're experienced in, and then just totally leaving it and then just doing a whole new thing, And it's kind of the same with them. You can't, because now this new music genre is in, it means they're not. I can't imagine Bob Marley singing Gqom or trap or Mapiano. You know, if he was still alive, he would still be singing the music he was singing. You understand?
Yep.
I can't, so it doesn't mean when something new comes in, it naturally means the chucking out of what's been there.
Yeah.
No, we can accommodate something new. We can collaborate with something new. We can work together, and we can include this into the new market. So the Kwaito legends are being punished for not abandoning their original Kwaito style.
Yeah.
And following the new trends when they've got so much to offer in the original sounds. So Abantu Bamlaba with Mshoza was an experiment because it was just after the Gqom, just after the New Age Kwaito, before the Mapiano era, to say, no, she doesn't have to sing Gqom or anything new to still make it. She doesn't have to feature someone who's trending to still make it, She sang it alone. She told her own story on her own original sound, and it worked.
Yeah.
And I think that's the narrative we're driving here, to say they can still stick to their guns. They can evolve into business people and record labels and still make it without changing or following what's there, because a lot of what's there actually emanates from them. People are taking what they did and and then there's an evolution of the sound, which is good because now they're creating their own thing. They're not just copying what's there.
Yeah.
It's good, but it doesn't mean those who are there now have to abandon what's there and start. What about that market? What about that market that loved Ringo Madlingo's Afro pop?
Yeah.
If Ringo must leave that and now start bouncing on Amapiano, fine. But what happens to the people who loved that sound?
Yeah.
If Dr. Huma Sigela has to leave his sound and start bouncing on Gqom or Mapiano, what happens to his market? What happens to people who used to love that? Because not everyone wants to bounce around, and what happens to jazz lovers? What happens to reggae lovers? What happens to all those people who love those genres?
So why can't you collaborate with the Kwaito artists and create a platform for the Kwaito artists that can now feed into the fans? I once told you, I remember telling you, the time when you created this show, I think you called it Umhlaba Mapanzula.
Yes, Umhlaba Mapanzula.
So, and I was like, shakes, no, this show will be it. And I was full on it, but we paused when we lost Mendoza. It was the same time.
It was the same time.
Mendoza died, and then the energy just...
It just dipped.
Yeah. But, the 90s, and the 90s music, right? On 702, it's a talk radio. But on Sundays, I listen to them because that's what they play, and that's my stuff, So I'm sure there are people that are actually looking for such platforms as well, or such places where they can listen to or attend gigs. So it's a matter of maybe coming up with something. Even when I was in the UK, I would stream Metro FM. That's before the 90% thing.
Battle,
yeah. I would stream Metro FM every Sunday, and many other people ended up streaming Metro FM every Sunday because we knew, okay, this is now, we're going home. We're going to be serenaded. We're going to be listening to stuff that that's the music I know lyrics to, man.
And nothing in the world sounds like it. It doesn't matter where you are. As soon as you listen to that Kwaito jam, it takes you home.
It does.
Because it emanates here. I actually believe that Kwaito should be recognized as South African cultural music, as a South African heritage, because it's something that began here.
Yeah.
Even though it's composed of elements that were borrowed in that genre and that genre, but it became a unique sound on its own that was born here. I know that in Namibia, a lot of Kwaito artists and record labels started popping up in the 90s after our Kwaito thing went big, in the country and took over.
Yeah.
And when they stopped giving Kwaito that sort of a platform, I know that a lot of these artists and record labels collapsed in Namibia because we're not doing it anymore. Yes. And yes, we have evolved to newer sounds, but they're not willing to do that because they believed in that sound that was there.
Yeah.
Hence I say, if everyone has to go to the same, follow the new trends only, what happens to the market that loved what was there?
Right.
Yeah. Are they not catered for anymore? Yeah. So that's my view. So back to your question on saying Netflix has an evolution of Kwaito, your answer is exactly that. Umhlaba Mapanzula.
evolution of hip
hop.
Now let's because I mean me and you, we can make great TV.
Yes.
Let's make a world-class product.
Yes.
And sell it to Netflix.
Yes. And we're not showing the history.
No.
We're showing what's happening now, the evolution. We want to see how these new genres got born as well, because they come from Kwaito.
They do, right?
And you also want to see how do the legends that gave birth or influenced these sounds now fit into this new industry that has these new sounds.
Yeah.
And what happens to their future. You understand? So there's your answer right there. Hence, Mhlaba wa Mapansula was exactly about that, documenting the now into the future.
Umhlaba wa Mapansula, where am I? Yes, Umhlaba wa Mapansula.
Yes, Umhlaba wa Mapansula.
It's coming.
It actually has
we are going to make it work.
It actually has a soundtrack that was recorded by Mandoza and Mshoza. So it was like the king and queen of Kwaito on one track. And they did like a theme song. It was actually a theme song for the record label itself, Pansula Nation. And the direct translation is Umhlaba wa Mapansula.
Wow. So there's a start. We've got the start. Mm-hmm. So let's make it happen this year.
This year.
You know, this year is finished already. It's 5 January now. You know?
And we can push it while everyone's locked away. No one's going to.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right now. While the president has locked the doors.
DJ Fisher Fasha.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he's sending you a thumbs up there online. He says, Amantla. What sign is this? What emoji is this?
Yeah, let the revolution go on. Naluta continua.
Yes, that one.
I actually know DJ Fisher Fasha. He's part of Pansula Nation Records.
Oh, okay.
He's known as the #1 Kwaito specialist. He specializes in DJing Kwaito sets. He will kill you. He will knock you off your feet just with a Kwaito set.
We want a Kwaito set on WeChatting here.
Fisher, you heard. It's not me.
We want it here.
Yeah. By popular demand, you must be here and you must rock your mix live. He's on Josie FM, he's on Lisedi FM, and he's everywhere.
Nice.
And Weight Matters, on the Gigs That Matter. He changes the party. Every DJ wants to play what's trending and what's happening now. Yeah. And then Fisher comes and the mood just starts over and the party starts. That's DJ Fisher Fashion, #1.
So Lani, thanks for tuning in. We see you.
Olani Ngobeni was one of Mshoza's songwriters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He used to write for Lebu Matosa before writing for Mshoza.
Okay.
And then he wrote hits like Vimbani and Indota, which were some of the songs that Mshoza was involved in that actually really became big. That same Vimbani, I think Black Coffee also produced a remix of that Vimbani. Right. And Olani Ngobeni was one of the writers there, and he was one of the artists at Mshoza Poza Entertainment back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this podcast was actually not planned.
Yeah.
Squire was here for something else, business-wise, and I saw him wearing this hat, and I'm like, how? I know this hat. We have to go online.
Yeah.
So this was an in and out.
It was totally hijacked. I was put under lockdown.
I bribed him. I just gave him Ellen Wines, and he was like, but I want to drink this off camera. I'm like, no, the condition is you're going to have a bottle, a glass, or 2 glasses, but you have to be sitting here.
You see, now they know that I'm cheap and easily bribed. Now I'm going to be busy.
Hectic, man.
Yeah. The nice thing is that not a lot of people have access right now, so I'm not going to be easily bribed.
Oh, yeah. This is gold right now.
Yeah, this is gold. This is gold.
I've given you $1 million right now.
That's why I was like, do I leave it? Okay, put on the cameras.
Cool, man. You know what? Mm-hmm. I asked for 30 minutes. We've been on for like 25 minutes. Any last words? And then we can end this one.
Yeah, on when we start talking about Kwaito music in particular, there's not any time that will be enough. There's so much to be said. There's so much happening behind the scenes that I'm sure people would love to know. And when you're thinking that, why are they not releasing new hits anymore? Why are they not recording new music anymore? I think what you talked about, having a platform that's going to go out in public to expose why, and maybe have both sides of the story. Go to the media, go to the radio, the TV platforms, and ask them on camera, why are you not creating that platform? Because some radio stations, I know one in particular, that was made by Kwaito, and it blew up. And some years later, they would tell you that, no, they don't play Kwaito songs according to their policies and what, you know. When in the first maybe 5 years, all they would play was Kwaito music.
So they are forgetting their roots.
They're forgetting their roots.
You know, these children that grew up in Kasi, then when they make a few runs, they say, no, I don't go to Kasi.
Yeah, because they've learned how to twang.
Please. Because, you know, they will come back. They always come back.
Yeah, they are. I mean, your foundation is something very important, you know.
That baseline from Kwaito, many music genres came from there.
Others are still releasing Kwaito. It's just that they're not calling it Kwaito because the name has been stigmatized to be something of the past. But when you listen to the sound and you listen to the song, this is a Kwaito song. It may be slowed down a little. It may be ramped up to be a little bit faster. But you listen to the lyrical style, the lyrical content, as well as the beat, the rhythm itself. And you hear, but this is a Kwaito song. But he doesn't want to call it a Kwaito song as well because he might not get airplay. You know, so the song is still good, but it's affected by what you call it.
Yeah.
Something that needs to be looked at.
We are revolutionizing Kwaito this year. 2021, on the 5th of January, Mr. Kwaito himself, he made a declaration. So we are going to make it happen. Yeah, and it's coming.
Yeah. Thank you,
cool,
Ajay.
Man. Thanks. I can't even greet you anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, this corona thing.
I need to put back on my mask and go back into quarantine.
Yes.
Before curfew. What time is it? It's not curfew.
You know you know what happened before I let you go? What happened with this quarantine thingy?
Yeah.
The lockdown. 27 March I'm expecting, man. What else could we do?
This is because of lockdown.
We were just locked in the house.
So you're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to go out. So you're
just looking at your wife there.
So you're having an extra family member. Congratulations.
Eish, my man.
Congratulations. And yeah, at least you're not going to get bored.
Okay. Yeah, that's to lock down.
To lock down.
Yes.
Thank you,
Cool,
Mr.
man.
President.
Yes.
Now we have an extra family member.
Yes, my man. Cool, man. We'll speak again.
Yeah.
In the middle of the Umhlaba Mapansula project.
Yeah.
We update the viewers before it goes out.
Maybe we'd even bring some of those Kwaito legends to the podcast.
Yes.
And they can also tell you their views. I know Mapaputsi has a lot to say to you guys. A lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I'll leave that to him when he's here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We might as well create and move this revolution from the WeChatting series and create our one podcast show.
Yeah.
That's just updating people on the updates around this.
Yes, on what's happening, yeah.
Then we can bring all these people in and get the people talking.
Yeah.
But you know, the good thing with social media now is the traditional radio station, they can go to hell. They can stay there.
Yeah.
Traditional, whoever that thinks now they want to do Z, they don't want to do X and B anymore, they can stay, they can do that.
Which is why your DJ Smooths, your Fat Joes, your Tibo Touches, your Gareth Cliffs started to walk away because they were in the inside.
Yeah.
As much as they were content producers themselves, producing music, shows and all of that, but they also didn't like what was happening because remember they were there before this sort of this new controlled way of making the platform available for content, you know, and that's why they felt like, no, we can walk away. People are watching right now, and we are not on any traditional TV platform, but here they're watching. You understand? That should say something.
That should say something.
Yeah.
Talking about people watching, Campus Canvas. I love this. Squire for Hire representing the creatives. Looks like someone that knows you well.
Biggest to Campus Canvas. I'm not.
I'm sure he knows. He's aware of you.
I'm sure they know. Yeah, or maybe they follow the whole Kwaito movement and they've been following our music. Shout out to Campus Canvas.
Cool, man. Until next time, I need to release this man. He needs to go.
Yeah.
And be locked down.
Before curfew hits.
Yes. We're like school kids, man.
Yeah.
I feel like shit.
We have to toe the line.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Cool.
Thank you for having me here.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Okay.